Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I film my YouTube videos, specifically like my one-eyed eyeshadow tutorials. I get asked all the time about my camera settings, my lights, and just my overall setup, and so I think this would be fun to kind of show you guys behind the scenes of how I film my videos. Maybe you want to start your own YouTube channel and just want some guidance of things that may be helpful, or you just kind of want to know what things look like behind the scenes. I think this will be fun today. So you're going to learn all of my tips and tricks of exactly how I film my videos. So first, let's go over my makeup room like as a whole and just my overall setup. I have showed this before. I recently did a makeup room tour when I redid my whole makeup room once I moved to Texas. So for my filming table, I just use a desk from Ikea. I really like it. I love the drawers for storage. It's really big. And then I have 3 lights in front of me as I film. I got these 2 new panel LED lights once I moved to Texas, and these lights are so amazing. They're thin, they don't take up a lot of space, and I love that you can adjust the brightness and the color temperature of the light. I'm also going to link all these products down below, so don't be worried. So I have those 2 lights to the side of me to kind of light up this area, and then directly in front of me I have, I think it's an 18-inch ring light. I'm going to show you what it looks like from my perspective. Use my phone here. But here are the lights on, the 2 panel lights, and then the ring light, and then I keep the rest of the room dark, so I don't have my overhead light on, and then I close my blinds. And then I like to sit on a rolly kind of spinny chair so I can like grab products behind me if I need to. It's just more comfortable for me to be able to like move around. And then I have my rug that everything sits on top of. So I have my lights, my desk, and my chair on top of this rug, which is very important to have. Again, because I'm using a rolly chair, so I don't want to have my rolly chair on like this hardwood floor because that would be so loud to my neighbors. And having a rug also helps with any echo in the room. It kind of picks up some of the sound. And I'm very excited about this because this part of the video is sponsored by Ruggable. So I've always wanted to try Ruggable. I've seen their ads for their rugs all over the place. They have so many rugs, so many sizes. So when they reached out to me, I was so excited. So they let me pick out a rug for my makeup room. And this is the Diamond Trellis Black Rug in a 5 by 7 foot. I actually really like the darker colors of this rug and how it kind of contrasts with my white desk and my white organizers behind me. And then it also has like a little pop of, it's almost kind of like a bronzy gold color, which complements my room as well. So my new rug was so easy to set up. It came nice and rolled up in a tall box. And in the box, you have the rug cover and the rug pad. I'd recommend having 2 people to set up the rug because the rug cover does stick to the rug pad like very easily. Like your rug is not going to move once it's attached to the rug pad. Rug cover, it's really light. So in case you didn't know, Ruggable rugs are water resistant and stain proof. So of course we had to test that out. So first I wanted to test out like a powder makeup spill. So I had Rue knock over some powder onto my new rug. And the powder actually cleaned up really easily with just some soap and water, so it was very easy to spot clean. Is it coming out?
Yeah, it actually came out really good.
That did come out really good. That was really easy. What else can we spill? But then I wanted to kind of challenge the rug and try something harder, so I spilled some red juice on the rug. I'm so nervous. Oh no.
Yeah, that's in there.
That was a lot of juice. Okay, you can't even see that.
No, it looks pretty good.
Like, yeah, it's wet, but you don't see any of the color of the juice. That's pretty cool. I soaked up the juice with a towel. Again, I used some soap and water and the stain was gone and it looks like it never even happened. But one of the coolest things about Ruggable is that the rugs can actually fit in your washer and dryer. The rugs are so lightweight, so it's really easy just to roll up your rug and put it in the washer. And yes, it did fit inside my apartment size washer and dryer. So I'm very excited about my new rug. It's super cute. It fits well with my room. The size is great. And I think my favorite feature is definitely how easy it is to clean if I spilled makeup or any kind of drink on it. So if you're interested in checking out any of Ruggable's rugs, I'm gonna leave a link and my coupon code down below for you, which will save you 10%. Thank you to Ruggable for sponsoring this video, and now let's keep talking about how I film my videos. Alright, so we talked about the room, the desk, the rug, the lights that I use. Let's talk about the camera a little bit. So I use a Canon 90D camera to film all of my videos, and I use the 18 to 135 millimeter lens because I like to be able to zoom in and out. So for example, here is my camera zoomed all the way out. So then when I'm filming my videos, I have a mirror in front of me always. I've had this mirror for so long, and it's really just a basic little flippy mirror. It's not super tall and it just sits right on my table. And I want to show you how far away I am from the camera, so I'm going to set up my phone really quick. So here I am sitting this way if I'm doing like a full face of makeup or just filming like the intro outro. This is usually where I'm seated. Like I said, I got this lens so I can zoom in. So if I'm filming an eyeshadow tutorial, I zoom all the way in. Here I am with the camera, and I actually scoot in just a little bit, and I kind of get my head into position here. So it's pretty easy. People always ask, how do I get such a close zoomed in shot? This is it. I just zoom my lens all the way in. I scooted just a little bit closer to the camera, and here we are. All right, but here's my mirror just sitting on the table, and when I'm filming, I like it to be just a little bit taller. So I have this just like little acrylic organizer, and I just stack my mirror on top of that. So now my mirror is just kind of more straight in front of me, but it's not blocking the camera. You know, it's not like this or anything. It's just right there. Okay, so I'm doing like a full face of makeup. My camera is mostly zoomed all the way out. Here I am, probably sitting about here doing my makeup. Easy. And then here's the number one question I get. How am I sitting for a one-eyed video? So again, we scoot in a little bit. We zoom in the lens. I kind of got to slouch down. And I'll actually move my mirror kind of around here. I've actually kind of been doing more of like a 2 eyes in the frame, so I'll kind of zoom out, mostly get my left eye in focus, and then get like a little bit my right eye right there. So kind of like that, but again, I'm just moving my mirror with my little holder around to see where I want to get, to see where I want to be. I do this shot a lot, so I kind of like tilt my head a little bit, doing my eyeshadow. So I hope that's helpful to see from this angle, like just where I'm sitting in proportion to the camera. And then people always ask like where I'm looking when I film. So just to show you on my camera, this is what I see. Looking into the lens, viewfinder, mirror. Hello. So I know a lot of YouTubers use like a monitor screen, like a bigger screen so they can really see what they're looking at, but I just use the viewfinder of my camera. So this is what it looks like if I'm looking into the viewfinder and then looking into the lens. And this is me looking into my mirror. I've tried to do the whole like monitor setup, but I just could never get it to work for me, and this has been working for me for the last like 5 years, so I'm just gonna keep it this way. I'm trying to show you all the views here. Will you balance on lipsticks? Possibly. Am I professional? Yes. All right, we're crooked, but it's fine. So like when I'm doing a video, I do have to keep my head pretty still. I can't be, you know, moving around. So I kind of have my head here. Let's say I'm blending, looking in my mirror, checking the viewfinder to make sure I'm still in frame. Blend, 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 check. But what happens when I'm filming, if I'm like, let's say doing something really precise, like a winged eyeliner, I can do it from this far away, but then I need to like get closer to my mirror. So I'll go out of frame like this because I'm getting closer to my mirror to check, and then I'll get back in frame. Which is also why I haven't really done a video where I show myself like not editing the video, just doing my entire eyeshadow on camera, because I do go out of frame a lot. So I'm still working on how I'm gonna film that video. It's coming soon. But yeah, that's how it looks like. Blending, blending, blending. Look in the mirror, look in the viewfinder. And it was pretty tricky to get used to this at first. I'm gonna talk about camera settings in a second, but you can see there's that little box around my eye. So this is really weird to do. So I can move this box of where I want myself to be focused. So I kind of go there, and I just kind of tell myself to keep my eye in that box, and that's how I know I'm in frame. Okay, now let's talk about camera settings really quick. And I've never talked about camera settings before because your settings depend so much on your environment, where you're filming, and more importantly, your lighting. So I'm not an expert on camera terminology. I've taken like basic camera classes in like high school and college, but the only setting I really mess with, I just had to Google it, is the shutter speed. So again, I have these 3 very bright lights in front of me. So it looks like, hi. Okay, so I have my shutter speed at 1/50, my f-stop at 5.6, and my ISO at 640. That's that. So my camera is on manual, so I can change all of those things. I will use auto sometimes if I'm like switching things up and like filming in front of a window. But most of the time, these are the settings on my camera. But what I like about this camera is that it's so easy to change the settings, like with this touchscreen or with the little knobs. I kind of like know how to use my camera backwards, if that makes sense. So like, for example, if I need to zoom in, sometimes it gets like too bright, so I just changed the shutter speed. See, right now it's 1/50. And now it's just getting lighter and lighter. So 1/50 is where I usually stay, sometimes 1/60, sometimes 1/40. It also kind of depends if like there's any light coming through this window, that affects it. I'm trying to think what other camera settings are important. Obviously I have my camera on a tripod, like if that wasn't clear so far. It's just like a little Manfrotto tripod. It's on like the lowest setting, but I do raise it up just a little bit right here. But I like this tripod that has like a little quick release right here. And then I do have a mic on my camera. It is a Rode mic that just sits in the hot shoe, and that's what it looks like. And it's on, I don't know what any of these settings means, but that's what it's on, 75. And the mic just plugs in right here into my camera. I like it. So this is what it looks like when I'm filming. Easy peasy. I also wanted to mention too that I have been doing this for 5 years and it is my full-time job. So I have played around with different setups, different lights, and this is what works for me. If you're new to YouTube, you don't need to have this fancy setup. Using a window works perfectly. I know so many YouTubers who just use natural lighting, but I would definitely recommend to have a tripod or just something steady to set your phone or your camera on, and a ring light is handy to have too as well. I did ask you guys on Instagram if you had just like any questions for me, so let me just quickly go through those. What lens and camera do I use? My settings, we went over that. Thumbnail photos, that's a good question. So my camera, the Canon 90D, can take photos and videos. So if I'm gonna take a thumbnail, I literally just switch the settings over to photo, do my little zoom in, maybe adjust the shutter speed again, and I guess let me show you this. All right, we're back to the phone. So I'm gonna switch it to camera settings, and then I would zoom in, focus my eye. It has a little focus button up here. Okay, it was looking kind of dark, so I'm just gonna lighten this up. So we're at 1/40. I kind of get into frame. Boom. Picture. So that was a good question, but that's how I take my eye photos. How long does it take you to do an entire look? Good question. If I was just gonna do like a one-eyed video, most of the time I'm literally just wearing eyeshadow on that one eye. That probably takes me about 30 minutes to film. But if I'm doing a full face of makeup, and in that case, usually I film like one eye and a lot of my face makeup, that probably takes maybe an hour or so to film. How much footage time do you actually cut out? That's a good question too. So I did kind of talk about when I'm doing like an eyeshadow look, you know, I'm blending and I want to look closer into my mirror. So I do go out of frame so I can see myself closer in the mirror. So I always cut out those bits, or else you're literally just like seeing my hair, and that's just not helpful. Kind of a random thing, but like when I'm editing, let's say I'm showing myself like applying the transition shade, I try to show that for at least 10 seconds. So 10 seconds of this shade, maybe 10 seconds of the next shade. And that's not how long it takes me in real life, which is why I do want to do a video where I try to do no cuts and no edits. You can really see how long it does actually take. How to film on phone camera. I've never really filmed any of my videos on my phone, so I can't really answer that for you. And then for editing, I just use iMovie on my Mac laptop. It's free, it's very easy to use. A couple years ago, I tried to use Final Cut Pro because I wanted to like be more professional with my videos, but it's like, my videos don't really need those fancy transitions and effects. I just need to be able to cut and copy paste things around. So I find that iMovie works for me. Again, it's free and very, very beginner friendly. It has just basic transitions. If you want to add a little title, you can. And then for editing any makeup pictures, I do use Photoshop for that. I'm not an expert at Photoshop, but I have just a little basic knowledge. So maybe some skin smoothing, brightening some colors, getting rid of any stray hairs or like flaky skin that's popping up. All right, so I think that's gonna be everything for me today. If you have any questions or something I might have missed for this video, just leave it down below. I'll try to get back to you. And I hope this was helpful for you to kind of see some behind the scenes of my filming setup. And again, if you want to check out Ruggable, there will be a link and a discount code in the description box. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.